Five Nights at Freddy's is a cultural phenomenon made by Scott Cawthon. Scott Cawthon had to go through many trial and error. First making Christian adventure games to making this and getting bullied for its uncanny looking characters.
They kinda look like animatronics.
This led him to make the monolithic franchise everybody loves today. He made a game about scary robots. Five Nights at Freddy's has probably one of the biggest fandoms on the internet. With the community as big as Fnaf, here comes fan games. Some good, and some that are absolutely atrocious. Maybe there's a fan game in this video that you've never heard of and you will fall in love with. I don't know, stick around. And come with me while I rank every single Fnaf game ever.
The definition of insanity.
This tier list is going from S to F. S obviously meaning it's amazing, and F, I mean, we all know what F stands for, right? The first game, Five Nights at Treasure Island, was one of the first FNAF fan games, with its demo releasing in 2014 and the game rebooting in 2020. Created by Radiant's team and Matthew Phoenix Rodriguez, going by Ennard 1996 online. In this game, you play as Jake Smith. You are a university student who joined the SSA sends us to the Disney resort, Treasure Island, to collect data. We have access to 10 security cameras and we must monitor the facility using them. The scenes and lighting are amazing. The gameplay is pretty straightforward, giving out instructions each night of the game. And the abandoned Disney resort looks abandoned. And the characters are terrifying to say the least. A tier, Freddy Fazbear's Massacre. Damn, no music? Well, this is sure a title screen. We need a person to shoot down all the Freddy Fazbear robots. You must have a past experience of killing robots to apply for this job. Yeah, exactly guys. Fuck having basic high school education or a degree. Just have experience killing robots, because professions like that actually exist. This is a picture of the fuzzy bastard. Shoot him right in the eyes, then rip open his head and chop off the robot's head. Damn, this is very graphic. Watch out for the yellow bear. He is so deadly that you don't really see him. The pay isn't referring to the bite of 87. Pay, 1987. It would have been a little funnier if you didn't tell me the joke.
Was that the bite of 87?
Right off the bat, I came across a random fish. What the fuck are those? These don't really seem like robots, they just seem like a generic male character model with Freddy Fazbear's texture just applied to them. There are normal sized robots, and there are normal sized robots that are just levitating in the air. So as this game instruction says, we shoot the robots. But this game, with heavy quotation marks, this game was made with FPS Creator. So this is a game engine primarily used for first-person shooters. This game has an interesting take on the FNAF franchise because Five Nights at Freddy's is not an FPS game. It is a point-and-click horror game. I could tell this game was made in like 15 minutes because the game is just a jumble of random assets and walls. I can't even die in this game. Why am I still here? What is that? I'm not coming close to that thing. I guess he's just invincible. I killed the last killable enemy. Is that it? Okay then. This game is so profound and struck a chord with me, so I'm giving it an F. Will there be a game worse than Freddy Fazbear's Massacre? Stick around and find out. FNAF Demo 3D. So, we are in an office, and we could roam around. This was probably the first Five Nights at Freddy's free roam 3D game to come out. So we are in an office that basically looks nothing like Five Nights at Freddy's. I get the flashlight, and it tells me to use Q to use the flashlights, but I I can't do it. I literally can't do it. Then I walked up to this door. It said it was locked, but I was still able to walk through it anyway. And I went into another level, I guess. This is basically Slender Man, but it's like really easy. And there's literally no threat at all. The only quote-unquote threat there is Golden Freddy. And the only way he can harm you is if you literally walk into him. All I could do is just sit there and stare at you. We have to collect 5 floppy disks, and it was pretty easy because there was literally nothing after me. And also, is there any story to this? Why am I outside collecting floppy disk? And I love the game's textures. They're just really pretty. After I do that, I walk up these stairs, and that's it. We are basically told that that is the end of the game, and we walk into the closet to end the game, and the game is over. Amazing. F. I can't believe it. There's actually a game worse than Freddy Fazbear's Massacre. Will there be a game worse than Fnaf Demo 3D? Stick around and find out. Five Nights at Wario's 1. Now this game is a classic fan game. The player works as a night guard named Richard McRoy for a newly opened fast food factory. A Russian man speaks to us when we need instructions.
Hello. Are you there?
Obviously, Wario's the main antagonist. Wario and Waluigi were running a fast food factory, and they were killed one night at work and came back as vengeful spirits, along with Mario, Luigi, and Peach somehow. Somehow they're also dead, and now they're haunting the player of this game. The setting is just JPEGs of creepy place, but they just compressed the image to like 80 pixels. The gameplay is pretty straightforward. The C tier. Five Nights at Wario 2. This game is set in a factory called WarioWare Incorporate, where you play as Thomas Taylor, and we must survive 7 nights against Wario and his friends. There are 3 modes in this game. Standard mode, which is similar to FNAF 2, where there are no doors in the office and unlimited power, and a generator that must be kept on to keep power. Classic mode, this is similar to Five Nights at Freddy's 1, where there's doors and limited power. And endless classic mode. This mode is like classic mode, but your goal is to survive the longest without dying. The graphics are pretty much the same as the last game, but there's a lot more content in the last game, so B tier. Five Nights at Wario's 3 is the 3rd game in the series. In this game, we find ourselves trapped in a big mansion somehow, and this game is kind of bizarre. Like, we're just in random parts of the house each night, in the corner of the rooms, just looking at security cameras that are hooked up in this abandoned house. Apparently, we are in the living room. Just walk out the door. We're in the bedroom. Just jump out the window. We're in the 3rd living room. Just walk out the door. I feel like things just happen in this game just because. C tier. Five Nights at Thomas's. We play as a security guard and we have to survive from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Now, this game is hilarious. You might think that this is just a bland FNAF ripoff, but listen to this.
Hello and welcome to Thomas's Pizza Railway. I'll be your conductor, Sir Stomp'em Hop. I'm here to fill you in on what you need to do for your job as a security guard at Thomas's Pizza Railway. Oh, and some other useful information that you may be able to use. Oh, okay.
Hurry up before it gets cold!
Other useful information that you may be able to use is that—
Shut
up!
No, I won't talk to your mother that way!
Sorry, Bob! I'll be right there!
You better be!
You shut up! It's only useful information that you may be able to use is that. But you need to put coma for this, by the way. You better not! Mom! Get out of my room! Mom! Mom! Oh god! Oh god! Oh!
So we're working at Thomas's Pizza Railway, and I'm assuming this is a pizzeria with a personified train serving pizza to you, with a killer Thomas the Tank Engine. We have a flashlight to flash in front of us to see if Thomas is there. We constantly have to keep tossing coal into the furnace to keep the power on. And the phone guy goes by the name Sir Topham Hatt. He claims he is a conductor, but he is actually a League of Legends player who lives in his mom's basement, currently getting the shit beat out of him for being disrespectful. On night 4, it is revealed that he is probably a fugitive that has a warrant out for his arrest.
Crap. Hold on. You know what? I'm just gonna go, have fun, and, good luck, see you next night!
Hey tier, this is funny. Five Nights at Thomas 2. We get more lore about Sir Topham Hatt. His troubles with the law has presumably been fixed now and has opened a new establishment. The game has expanded and now we have the privilege of security cameras, but we still have this damn furnace.
Well, you might be wondering how my date went. It went quite extraordinary. We're gonna get married tomorrow. No big deal.
Damn, that was pretty fast. Only one date. This game is pretty fun.
I had another date I didn't tell you about. It didn't go extraordinary. And
but they killed off Sir Topham Hatt. So, B tier. Five Nights at Thomas's 3. Like I said previously, Sir Topham Hatt is dead. You know, I didn't understand him at first, but he was ripped away from me. My heart is crushed. He was replaced with probably the two most annoying motherfuckers ever.
Well, hello there. You work for me now.
Please go back to Chuck. Thankfully, he gets killed by a goddamn tornado. Rip Bozo plus L plus ratio, Chuck's cousin. Five Nights at FBOY's complete collection. Five Nights at FBOY's has a very interesting take, as it's an RPG game. We grind to get XP and tokens. B tier. The collection is separated into 3 different games, but still the same gist. And it's our mission to go around defeating inanimate objects in the pizzeria. An idea that Undertale developer Toby Fox would steal a couple of months later. This is kinda like Fnaf World if it was actually good. A tier. Five Nights at the Krusty Krabs. This game is obviously a mixture of Five Nights at Freddy's and SpongeBob. Mr. Krabs had decided to open up a brand new Krusty Krab. He built animatronic versions of the older employees, presumably because it's cheaper than paying his actual employees' salary. And I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of on par for this guy. In this game, there are cameras and limited powers and doors. I mean, you could tell this is a FNAF fan game. It's a pretty straightforward game, so B tier. One Night at Flumpty's. Right off the bat, you can instantly tell that this game is unique than most fan games. The stylized hand-drawn texture of the game subverts expectations of a typical FNAF fan game, especially one coming out in 2015. The game starts off by a call.
Hi, I'm Flumpty Bumpty. I'm an egg. I'm immune to the plot and I can transcend time and space. Also, I'm coming after you. You can figure out the rest. Fun.
This quirky character goes by the name of Flumpty Bumpty. One Night at Flumpty's did not originate as a game. The character came from its comics. The game is very similar to that of Five Nights at Freddy's. One, as the player is stuck inside an office, they can look through the cameras and control 2 doors. Since there's only 1 night in the game becomes harder as the night progresses. Very unique game. A tier. One Night at Flumpty's 2 is the second installment of the series. It hits us again with its classic art style. Flumpty Bumpty and his friends have kidnapped her and have taken you to a special place to play a game. All we need to do is just avoid them until 6 a.m. There are no doors, but rather a light switch to turn off the light if any characters come near the office. There is a FNAF Easter egg. This game gets an A tier. One Night at Flumpty's 3. One Night at Flumpty's 3 is the third and final game. This game is very unique. The players will have to control their body temperature and make sure they don't get frozen by going to the furnace. If any of the enemies come close to the office, we must flash them with a camera to make them go away. Everything is more disturbing, especially his friends. They seem to be out for blood. New rooms keep getting added and switched around, and gets more intense. S tier. Five Nights at Minecraft. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but in Minecraft. I think it's pretty good. B tier. Five Nights at Ronalds. It's a Fnaf game set in the McDonald's restaurant. Apparently, the last security guard was angry at the manager because he got fired. This left him devastated because he needed money to support his family. So he decided to go f***ing postal and kill everyone in the restaurant with a gun. Imagine if bro just got another job. I doubt his family is doing better after that stunt. The McDonald's restaurants lost a lot of clients after this. So they brought in animatronics, and they look terrifying to say the least. You go through each night surviving animatronics in the game. You have to watch out for power and look through the camera. Is that Grimace?
Yo, bro, what the heck?
C tier. Five Nights in Nintendo Land. In this game, we're working as a night guard for the abandoned amusement park, Nintendo Land, and we avoid haunted Nintendo characters by tracking their movement with a Wii U gamepad, hiding in a shed. I ain't gonna lie, this game is kind of ugly. It's just a bunch of PNGs moving back and forth. It's really hard to see anything, to be honest. Like, what am I looking at? D tier. Five Nights at Sonic. Knuckles is hired to work the night shift as a security guard at Sonic Heroes Pizza Palace. For whatever reason, the animatronics or clone turn evil at midnight and attack anyone who lurks in the establishment after hours. And we receive a call from Luigi. Yeah, Luigi, the brother of Mario. The lore of this game is just extremely bizarre. What are clones? The SHPP was founded for heroes to entertain people throughout the day. Due to the heroes having busy lives, they clone duplicates of themselves, and the clones get violent at nighttime. You could just fucking quit. The art style is very interesting, as all the characters look like they are drawn in MS Paint. D tier. Five Nights at Sonic's 2. The protagonist is Amy Rose. She applies for a job as a night guard in the new and improved Sonic Hero Pizza Palace. The gameplay isn't really unique, it's just a reskin of Fnaf 2. C tier. Five Nights at Sonic's 3. Sonic's Hero Pizza Palace, now closed after 10 years, has reopened. It follows the style of Fnaf 3. And I thought the jump scares and visual effects were actually pretty good. The game was also pretty challenging, so B tier. Five Nights at Sonic's 4. The first game that is not a reskin of an original FNAF game. This game takes place in 2028. Luigi goes into hiding. The Nightmare clones receive word that he's still hiding in the 2015 location and goes there to kill him. There is no security cameras, so we just have to keep looking left and right. The gameplay gets a little bit repetitive, so C tier. Five Nights at Sonic's 5. It is the summer of 1991. Sonic has defeated Dr. Eggman, and he returns to Green Hill to rest. There he met Tails, and they built a restaurant. Tails built a cloning machine and tested it on Sonic. Something went wrong in the process, and the clone was repainted to yellow, and it has a tendency to kill. I like this game. It gives more lore and backstory to this universe. There is this character named Shadow Sonic, and I cannot take this guy seriously. C tier. Five Nights at Pingas. Many years ago, Dr. Ivo Robotnik starts an underwear stealing business where he steals people's underwear and sells them on eBay for large amounts of money. He ended up spending time in prison because of this. Robotnik then starts putting up advertisements in the newspaper, and you, the player, see this ad. Dr. Robotnik is hiring night guards in his mansion, and this is just all a ploy to murder you and steal his underwear. This game is obviously a shitpost because what is this? What the hell am I looking at? There are 3 holes or black voids that the enemies can enter in, so I have to press a button to close the entryway. Our terrifying cast of enemies are Robotnik, Sonic, Scratch, and Vegeta. I can't with this game. F tier. Five Nights at Pingas 2 is the second installment. Dr. Ivo Robotnik and his friends were caught in their schemes of stealing underwear and now held in a maximum security prison. This game is disgusting. This game reeks of 2015. F tier. Five Nights at Pingas 3. This game follows the story after the night guard manages to escape and reports Robotnik and his friends to the police. Scratch managed to avoid getting captured by hiding in the basement. Sonic and Vegeta and Robotnik are then hit with an Illuminati curse by a Mexican Satan and die. To honor them, Scratch collects all of Robotnik's old underwear and starts the Pingas Underwear Museum. This enables Robotnik, Sonic, and Vegeta to return to life as zombies, and they can be resurrected if they are able to get the night guard's underwear. And oh my god, what the fuck? F tier, get this game out of my face. Five Nights at Pingas 4. Dr. Robotnik still has a zombie, he's gonna die. Then he was transported to hell. Mexican Satan then encountered him and offered him the choice to steal the Lord Gabe's underwear. Robotnik accepted, and then Lord Gabe, Half-Life 3, Red Soldier, and Yoda go on a vacation. This is probably one of the Fnaf fan games to age so horribly. Five Nights at Pingas 5. Please go away. Five Nights at Pingas 6. Why the hell are there 6 Five Nights at Pingas games? There does not need to be that many games. Is there a sweatshop in a third world country churning out these games every few months? It seems like they got slaughtered and blown up because there hasn't been a game in years. Thank God, we have finally achieved world peace.
Who's afraid of the big black?
F tier. Five Nights at Smudger. Smudger is another Thomas the Tank Engine FNAF game. This game is actually pretty good for a game with trains as the enemies, and it's pretty creepy. So, B tier. Five Nights at Smudgers 2. A brand new train station has been opened. This station needs a security guard to watch trains, and that's us. The sound effects and visual effects are pretty good as well, so B tier. Five Nights at Smudgers 3. The graphics is so much better and easier in the eye. In this game, we are the security guard in a museum, and once again, we must monitor these murderous trains. This game is pretty challenging as well, so B tier. Five Nights at Smudgers 4, Engines at War. This game is pretty good. Everything is 3D modeled and nice looking. There are mini games that are actually really fun. For example, there is this minigame called Wanted Lorry. We play as Tim the truck on a high-speed chase with the police in a suburban neighborhood while we exchange bullets with each other. A tier. Five Nights at the Chum Buckets. This game is a sequel to Five Nights at the Krusty Krab. After the Krusty Krab was burnt down, the only living survivor was the player. And then we were taken captive by a business official. We are trapped and located inside of the security room in the Chum Bucket, and we have to survive 6 nights against SpongeBob animatronics. This is some Saw type shit. Like, come on, some guy has captured us in a secret place, invisible to society, making their victim play a game where they have to fight for their life? Yes.
For all intensive purposes, I am the second in command here at the Chum Bucket, and my boss has put me in charge of you.
Why does the phone guy sound like he's gonna start talking about stroking his shit?
I'm over here stroking my dick.
The graphics in this game is pretty awesome, and the transition through the cameras is very satisfying. At the end of the game, we get rescued by the other only survivor in the game. How wholesome. A tier. 5 Golden Nights of Freddy's. This is a very low quality fan game. Everything is so random. Why are FNAF 2 and FNAF 3 characters in the same universe?
But it's pretty empty right now. We have been buying a bunch of stuff from eBay and auctions and stuff. Plushies.
And I can't even understand what phone guy is saying. D tier. 5 Golden Nights of Freddy's 2. The game doesn't look any better. The animatronics don't really blend well with the environments. There are no cameras, just this radar thing. But the game is pretty hard. We constantly have to put on this mask, or else the animatronic will instantly jump scare us. D tier. 5 Golden Nights of Freddy's 3. Well, this game has improved a lot, and the graphics are of higher quality. Freddy, Bonnie, and Foxy seem to be the only characters in this game. Every time we hear their footsteps, we have to put the mask back on. Pretty straightforward. Every time we're done with the night, there's this cool mini game where we walk through the hallways to avoid animatronics and transition between rooms. This game gets bumped up to a B. Five Nights at Tubbyland. This is a FNAF fan game with Teletubbies. We are in a restaurant with old, withered Teletubby animatronics. The restaurant is planning to reopen, and they need a security guard to work the night shift from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. We play as Parker Anderson. We sit in an office. We're able to shut the doors, but that costs us our power. The game has a creepy atmosphere, and the characters are very uncanny, and the game is pretty smooth. So, B tier. Five Nights at Tubbylands 2. This game takes place after the events of Five Nights at Tubbyland. A new Tubbyland theme attract is opening its door with the introduction of newly modeled Tubby bots. We are the security guard from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. for $526 a week and a month of custard for half off. Damn, what a deal like that, something sus must be happening. Just like any other game, we sit in an office, but there's a button. When we press it, the office will fill up with smoke, blocking some of the Tubby bot's view from ourselves. However, 2 of these animatronics can see through the smoke. I like this game's mechanics. B tier. Five Nights at Tubbyland 3. Five Nights at Tubbyland 3, the end game, is the 3rd and final game in the series. 6 years later, after Tubbyland Entertainment has closed its doors, the animatronics warehouse has been reopened and they need a night guard. In the game, you can move your camera all around because there's a vent on the ceiling. The perspective of this room is kind of slanted, giving a more uncomfortable atmosphere. We can recharge our power by shutting off the lights and flashlight, making the room completely dark, having to listen in for sound cues in order to survive. A tier. Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese Rebooted. Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese Rebooted is a 2021 reboot of Lions Rymar's Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese from 2015. First glance, this game is beautiful. The year is set in 1979. Us Fred Andrews were asked by Sue to take over her night shifts for the week because of some family issues. The animatronics, however, have been malfunctioning lately, so we all know what that means. The animatronics in this game are actually terrifying. Like, how is this a children's restaurant? The sound design is also amazing, making the game also scarier. S tier. Five Nights Before Freddy. This game is a different take on what happened before the nights of Fnaf in the 80s. Management of Fazbear Entertainment decides to reopen their pizzeria with a smaller budget. The animatronics were hired to work 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. for 5 days before the reopening to observe. The game is alright. It just feels like Fnaf at home. D tier. Five Nights Before Freddy's 2. This game has taken a pretty interesting turn because this game actually has a storyline. We start off the game in the middle of the woods, talking to the guy over the walkie-talkie.
Hello? Hello, hello? Anyone there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Christ.
Hey, enough of that. You wouldn't want your wife to find out about your little secret, would you?
Apparently this guy right here did something behind his wife's back, and the guy over the walkie-talkie is threatening to blackmail this guy if he doesn't do this favor. We get into the cabin and then the night starts. We flash Bonnie and Chica to make them go away, and then we hide under the table to avoid Freddy. But I was invested in this game. Not the gameplay, but the story. Because it just gets crazier each night. Night 2.
Well, there should be more activity tonight, so you'll be more busy. Who knows? Maybe another animatronic will come and say hello.
Asshole radio guy explains that more animatronics are showing up. Night 3.
Got some news for you. Freddy has been acting up. We found scratch marks in the trees where he was.
What do you mean?
Well, that means if he comes to the cabin, you'll know by a distinct scratching noise. Judging by where he is, he'll come to the door.
The asshole radio guy is explaining that another animatronic is coming over to the cabin. Night 4, we wake up late and...
Where the hell have you been? You're late.
I took a nap and lost track of time, sorry. I've been so tired.
Don't give me that. The boss is furious, man.
Well, I'm here now. Better late than never.
You're in big trouble, Isaac. I hate to say.
Asshole radio guy flames us for it. Night 5.
Who are you? Where's the radio guy?
I'm Dominic, the reason why you're here.
Oh.
I heard you were 2 hours late last night. Not happy.
Well, I'm really sorry for turning up late last night. This isn't an easy task you've given me.
We're walking through the woods, and a new guy picks up the walkie-talkie by the name of Dominic. Dominic is presumably the boss of this whole operation. Because we are late for our job for an hour, he will tell our wife about his secret, whatever that is. Then he will come for us if we don't show up on the last day. Night 6.
Hey man, sorry to hear you got kicked out.
Asshole radio guy picks up the phone again.
Dominic? What are you...
What the hell?
You two idiots just don't get it, do you?
What did you do?
You better stay in that damn cabin, or I'll see to that your loved ones perish.
Yeah, asshole radio guy just got shot by Dominic for some reason, and now is threatening the lives of our family member. So after we get through the night,
I didn't think you'd stick around. Any normal person would have left. Skipped town, maybe.
What did you do?
Well, I called the cops. Reported that I found the missing animatronics. I needed someone all this time to take the heat for me.
You son of a bitch! You set me up!
I sure did, you stupid addict. Fazbear crew deserves to burn. They will pay. My plans have only just begun.
So it seems we have been set up. You guys are probably wondering why the animatronics are just roaming around the forest. Apparently 4 animatronic characters have been reported missing from a shipping container that was en route to the up-and-coming pizzeria Freddy Fazbear's Diner. This Dominic person stole the animatronics just to spite Fazbear Diner for whatever reason, and now we will take the fall for it. Honestly, this game is kinda crazy. Subverts expectation from the first game, and I wonder what will happen to this guy. So, B tier. 5 Nights to Remember. We are working at Fredbear's Family Diner. This game is alright. It plays like any Fnaf fan game, but the game is kinda ugly. C tier. Bonnie Simulator. In this game, you control Bonnie and attack the security guard, and we can unlock Springtrap and do the exact same thing. It's kind of a fun, quick game. C tier. 5 Nights in Anime. Why? This game is just 5 Nights at Freddy's but for Coomers. Would getting jump scared by these animatronics be a bad thing? This game is pretty straightforward and plays like 5 Nights at Freddy's, so C tier. 5 Nights at Wario's Origin. This game takes us back to the beginning of the Wario series. We play as Wario and we work at this cafe bar place. The enemy of this game is ourselves. Evil versions of ourselves are haunting the place, and the phone guy keeps claiming that he also sees the same thing happening. Like,
And I saw you with wide glowing eyes and a deformed face. You were just standing there by the back door, so I naturally went to check if it was you, but no, you were nowhere to be seen when I got there.
At the end of the game, I presume evil Wario kills us. The game, of course, still has that low quality jank to it, and the gameplay is pretty much the same as all the other games. B tier. 5 Nights at Candy's, one of the most popular fan games, and it's also in Scott Cawthon's Fanverse initiative. The game takes place in 1987, November 16th, 1987 to November 20th, 1987. We work at the robot factory. The animatronics are Candy, Cindy, Chester, Blank. The game is obviously inspired by Fnaf, but it's very unique with its 3D animated cutscenes. A tier. 5 Nights at Candy's 2. 20 years later in 2007, Marilyn Schmidt is the protagonist. So obviously, people think that this girl is related to Mary Schmidt, but it is not revealed in the series. She's a 17-year-old girl who loses a bet with her friends, so she has to spend 5 nights in this abandoned robot factory. She lies to her parents that she's staying over at a friend's house. We need to survive 5 nights using cell phones, camera, spread throughout candies. Damn, this is kind of a cruel bet. Well, this game is terrifying to say the least. All the robots are worn out and broken. We have a flashlight to flash the animatronics and look through the security cameras. There are also mini-games that give us more lore to the story. A tier. 5 Nights at Candy's 3. We play as Mary Schmidt as a child. She is having nightmares about monstrous versions of rats and cats at night. Candy 3 is probably my favorite game in the series. This game is terrifying. We constantly have to confront these rats face to face, flashing our flashlights in his face till he goes away. And we also play nice looking mini games that reveal why Mary is so afraid of rats. S tier. 1 Night to Remember. We play as a security guard from 12 to 8 a.m. We must monitor the game. The game is alright. The gameplay isn't too unique, but I think the set design and the models are pretty good. C tier. Insanity. This game takes a different take of FNAF 2. It's in 1987. A new Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria has opened, featuring the friendly, shiny looking animatronics. But there was a parts and service room with the broken animatronics. The gameplay gets pretty repetitive. The only thing I gotta do is flash the lights every second and look at the cameras. D tier. Dayshift at Freddy's. Apparently, this game is a FNAF 2 remake. I would like to object. This game is a demake. The animatronics don't look as appealing as FNAF 2's animatronics, and this game isn't as polished as 5 Nights at Freddy's 2, and there are less animatronics. I feel like this game would be more interesting if they just made a FNAF fan game with original characters, but this is just FNAF 2 if it was free. D tier. Return to Freddy's 1. I know the creator who made these games is a very interesting person, but we're just going to look at the games. The Return to Freddy 1 was previously named 5 Nights at Freddy's 3 in 2015. Yes, it was just straight up named 5 Nights at Freddy's 3, before the real Five Nights at Freddy's 3 came out. So Scott asked him politely to change his name of the game. So he did. He changed the game's name to FNAF 3 Fan-Made to just The Return to Freddy's. Mike Schmidt was about to quit his job. He found a news article about the pizzeria saying the ever so popular pizzeria animatronics have been fixed and repaired at last. They have also fixed and brought back everyone's favorite pirate fox, Foxy. So Mike applied to work at this job again for some reason. So we're back at the FNAF 1's office. What are these door designs? They stick out like a sore thumb. They do not blend in at all. For some reason, Puppet is in this game, and this is just FNAF 1 and 2 in the same game. I can't believe this game was advertised as Five Nights at Freddy's 3 at one point. F tier. The Returns to Freddy's 2. Anyways, we're taking the night shift at some place. I'm not gonna lie, the characters in this game are kind of ugly. They're not pleasing to look at, and this game is kind of unoriginal because it's just Five Nights at Freddy's 2, security camera, vents, and music box. B tier. The Return to Freddy's 3. A new entertainment is close to opening called Fazbear's Fantasyland. They're salvaging a few more animatronics before they open. I can't get over the fact every time I listen to the phone guy, he sounds like he's constantly rethinking his life choices.
Hey Blake, how's it going? You're probably wondering why we called you to help us out with this job. Well, things get pretty heavy over here, and there's a lot of pretty cool stuff.
Honestly, rightfully so. The game's atmosphere is ugly and dirty. I think it fits well with the game's description. It still very much resembles FNAF 3. C tier. The Return to Freddy's 4. 15 years later, Fazbear Fantasyland has been demolished. Why? I don't know. The government has come to a decision to make animatronics legal again. Wait, what? Animatronics were illegal? You don't gotta make them illegal, you just gotta stop stuffing dead children inside of them. What they don't realize is the terrible mistake they just made. Okay. This game is kind of unique. Instead of having to pull out the camera, it's just on the screen. And we disguise ourselves using a vent instead of a bear mask. You know, this game is alright. And yes, we all know the famous cutscene of the guy slipping on a bar of soap in this abandoned restaurant and getting into the springlocked somehow and getting crushed to death. C tier. Return to Freddy's 5. We play as an investigator. Everybody but you step down on a cold case of the mysteries and murders of Fazbear Incorporated. You are alive. You are the child of the past. Tyler has such a way with words. I think this game is actually pretty good and unique. It's a point-and-click free roam game with a lot of content. The game has 11 floors and we have to navigate through them while surviving the abandoned entertainment place. B tier. Popgoes 1. Popgoes is probably one of the most popular fan games made by King Carter, and is also a part of Scott's Fanverse initiative. This game was one of the most unique looking fan games, especially for a fan game coming out in 2016. The game takes place in November 2024. The first night happens on the 25th of November, a few days before the game started. Fritz Glade, who was the creator and the owner of Popgoes Pizzeria, accidentally murdered his daughter, Bonnie Glade, and her soul is now haunting the pizzeria. We don't play as the usual security guard, we play as the animatronic named Strings, a robot, with advanced AI. I can't believe this game actually predicted the future.
Hello, my name is Princess Jane. I would like to show you some tricks. I hope you enjoy it. We have unlimited power, but we have a panic meter that must be kept down. S tier. Popgoes Arcade 2020 is a reboot of a game that came out in 2016. This game is cool, like really cool. It's so bright and colorful. This game takes place in Popgoes, the Dead Forest. A mysterious power destroys the North Forest and keeps damaging the forest next to the garden. Popgoes' goal is to gather keys to enter the North Forest and the castle to find and defeat Dead King Freddy. The game's perspective is a kid playing an arcade machine in Popgoes Pizzeria. We play as Popgoes the Weasel in an RPG. We explore areas, fight enemies, and upgrade ourselves to become stronger. S tier. Popgoes Arcade 2. This game came out in April 2017. This game looks less polished and kind of dull. The gameplay is an RP like the last game, but it could get a little bit repetitive and has less content than the rebooted game. B tier. The Joy of Creation Reborn. The Joy of Creation is probably one of the best FNAF fan games I've ever experienced. There is a story mode where we play as Scott Cawthon and his family as they try to survive inside their own home, as Scott's game have become a reality. There are 5 games called Memories. Each floor of the house, the protagonists reside fighting off the animatronics. There is an endless mode where you survive as long as you can. one where you will need to roam in different places. Like one of the challenges is a fucking forest. I'm just playing Slender the 8 pages. One of the things that's kind of annoying is the flashlight mechanic. When I'm running, I can't see in front of me, but the game is pretty solid. A tier. Those Nights at Rachel's. This game takes place in a rival company to Freddy's, known as Doug and Rachel's, and we are the newly hired night guard. This game looks pretty, and it's really straightforward. You just lean right and forward to look at the hallways. But for the first night, the phone guy talks for the entire night. It's not like Fnaf or any Fnaf fan game or most Fnaf fan games where the phone guy talks for like a minute or two. This phone guy just never shuts the fuck up.
It's a bit unsanitary and rude, but customers are customers.
B tier. Those Nights at Rachel's 2 Reloaded. Well, this game has taken a very interesting turn. I can't believe Call of Duty Zombies would steal this mechanic a decade in the past. You just shoot the animatronics and then we come faced with the final boss. These animatronics don't have animations, they just come at you with the T-pose. This game is funny but does get kind of repetitive, so C tier. Five Nights at AGK Studio. We are a night guard working at AGK Studio. This game is interesting. Just take a look at the cover of this game. This whole game originated from a video of some angry German kid in 2005. This game looks disgusting. Everything is so dirty and it's hard to look at. Most of the enemies are just low quality, references to old internet memes and other media. F tier. Five Nights at AGK Studios 2. This game is just absurd. This game is just FNAF 2, but with too much things to do. I have limited flashlight power. I have to watch my oxygen, then the toxicity in my mask. D tier. Five Nights at AGK Studios 3. This is just a FNAF 3 reskin, but with their self-inserts. D tier. Five Nights at AGK Studios 4. Now this game is unfinished so far, but I think it's probably the best game. We are the security guard at a family diner. I've got to say, this game looks pretty good. It does take from FNAF 2, but I like the amount of branding on the wall. And the game can get intense at times, so C tier. Overnight. This game is the original FNAF game, but in 3D. It's cool, but this game is too dark. Like the original game that it's based on has like lights and the animations are very clunky. It's kind of funny. C tier. Overnight 2. This game is so much better. This game is not overly dark and it captures FNAF 2 pretty well, and the animations are still pretty clunky. B tier. Fredbear and Friends Left to Rot. This game is really good. This game features an unnamed protagonist who is exploring Fredbear's family diner in order to find information about their missing son and locate the prime suspect, William Afton. Every single night we are in a new room where we must survive the animatronics. There are also mini games and cutscenes where we have to interact with the animatronics, so the game never gets boring. S tier. The Seashift at Austin's. The year is 1993. After the closing of Joe's Pizzeria and Funhouse, a few ship owners thought it would be the perfect time to bring back Austin Pizzas. Austin's Pizza was then closed down for health reasons. Now it's been a few years since the accident happened. Now after the terrible events that happened in the past, Austin Pizza is now a part of Coast Paradise ship. This game is decent. Through the camera we flash the animatronics, and it's also a click-free roam game. I like the atmosphere. It's creepy. I like how dingy and broke down the place is, but the animatronics are kind of ugly, so C tier. The Fright Before That Night. This is a game that I stumbled on while trying to look for another game that just doesn't exist anymore, I presume. The person who made this game was probably on more drugs than I am when I'm making my videos. So this game starts off with a prologue. Yeah, no backstory or nothing, just jump straight into the menu. I have no clue where we are, by the way. It looks like we might be in like an attic or maybe a basement. I don't know. There's no indication that this is an office or any place for that matter. Why is bro holding his flashlight like that? That's not how human hands work. We are stuck inside this unknown place with this ugly motherfucker I don't know. Like, what is this? This looks like a 10-year-old's stolen FNAF OC. We are supposed to survive until 6 a.m., but the game is not consistent with what time the game starts. Most FNAF game, the night starts at 12 a.m., but in this game, my first game started at 12 a.m. and then I died. And then my second game started at 2 a.m. I actually survived until 6 a.m., but I died because I didn't know how to get out. How the fuck do I get out? And then my last game, the night started off at 7 a.m. F tier. I can't believe it. There's actually a game worse than Fnaf 3D demo. Will there be a game worse than the frights before that night? Stick around to find out. Five Nights at Torchwood. This game is a fan game of Fnaf and Doctor Who. You play as the night guard in the Torchwood facility, defending yourself against aliens. I think this game is a good Fnaf game, but I don't know anything about Doctor Who, but I bet it's doing justice to that, so B tier. Five Nights at Maggie. We are the night guard at Maggie's magical world, and as usual, we have to survive 5 nights. It's a good Fnaf fan game, and the game's really polished. The character models look really cool, so B tier. Five Nights at Maggie's too. We play as the night guard once again. This game is also really good. Everything about this game is creepy. The animatronics, the office, and looking through the security camera. A tier. Five Nights at Maggie's 3. We are a night guard in a storage room of some kind. The animatronics are way creepier and uncanny. Each night we are in a new place, in the entertainment place, so the game doesn't get repetitive. There are also mini games that explain the lore, and the jump scares are something. B tier. Five Nights at Fangs, the good old days. The game starts off with a cutscene, and for some reason, this cutscene takes so fucking long. It basically shows off the old animatronics, and then it shows the creator of said animatronics one by one. Then it cuts to 20 years later, and the old animatronics are shown with their new replacements one by one. This lasted for 2 minutes. I'm 100% sure the phone guy voicing this did not write a script before recording. The phone guy just starts rambling off about something about the animatronics. That just did not need to be said in the phone call.
All of a sudden just happened yesterday when the springlocked, every time, like, if something touches it, it just starts to malfunction and start, like, whatever, like.
It could have been conveyed in the cutscene and probably replace that voice recording with a voice recording that explains how to play this fucking game. I have no clue what to do in this game and how to keep the robots away, but it doesn't even matter because my game got stuck and I couldn't look left for some reason. For the entirety of that game, I was able to make it further than my next game when the issue was all fixed. Even though the game is very buggy and it lacks instructions, the graphics were pretty nice and the models were cool. F tier. Final Nights. We start off walking to our house. Why do we walk like that? We're waddling like a damn penguin. The puppet, also known as the brother, is in our house for some reason, so now we have to stand behind the couch while scaring away the brother when he emerges from the doors, cupboard, or the television. The game is also really short. We have to do this for like 5 minutes. Then it turns into a free roam game where we have to start up this car and then it explodes, and this is the ending of the game. This game kind of sucks. Nothing really makes any sense. D tier. Final Nights 2. We are in our house with this huge ass security system. We could either close off the vents or flash our flashlight to make the animatronics go away. Then we get a boss fight where we have to defend ourselves against Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie, which I think is kind of cool. I think this game kind of punishes you for the stupidest shit. Like in the beginning of the game, you could choose what suit you want to play as, and you're supposed to pick the Spring Bonnie suit. If you choose Fredbear, you get the bad ending. The cutscene after night 2, we have a choice to murder a child, and if we don't, we get the bad ending. So just make every bad choice and you get the good ending. C tier. Final Nights 3. This game takes place in a hospital where we have to defend ourselves against the Reaper animatronics. I mean, we don't have to. We could just go back to sleep and die. These Reaper animatronics are terrifying. I like how each night we are on a different scenery and it switches up our objective for the night. B tier. Final Nights 4. Probably the best game in the series. It is a click free roam game where we play as Max Donovan, a paranormal investigator who's got an anonymous tip about the disappearance of Henry Stillwater. There is a lot of content in this game. We roam around many locations. Night 1, we have to play with dolls behind the purple curtain, and then you have to watch the animatronics through the security camera while going through your investigation. You do this until you reach the end of your investigation. Also, this game looks amazing. If I have to tell you how amazing this game looks visually, S tier. Creatures of Nowhere. This game is weird. We are in a subway station. These trains keep passing us, which was obviously drawn in MS Paint. Of course, I have no idea how these robots broke into the train station and how we got ourselves stuck in this predicament. I also don't know how I would describe how these animatronics look. They look so strange. I can't describe it. What the fuck is this? D tier. Weekend Retribution. We are a night guard at Purple Shores Warehouse. This game's scenery is pretty cool and unique, but the gameplay is alright. It's nothing too special. B tier. University. This game jolt description says, in this horror game, we are a guard at a school where a previous killing has taken place. Ever been to a haunted school? Well, now's your chance. I think a lot of killing have taken place in schools. That doesn't necessarily mean that the school is haunted. The school is probably haunted because there are ghosts roaming about. I mean, the game is pretty repetitive. We just look back and forth and then shine our flashlights if an intruder is there. D tier. Back for more. It's an okay Fnaf fan game. There are original characters in this game and Chica. The gameplay is okay, it's just Fnaf 2. C tier. Dayshift F. This game is a comedic visual novel and a masterpiece. I literally get rickrolled in the fucking title screen. We can roam around the pizzeria and make decisions during the week working at Freddy's. We meet unique, quirky characters along the way and make decisions that might affect the ending of the game. A tier. Dayshift at Freddy's 2, Electric Boogaloo. We are back at Freddy's Fazbear's Pepperonary in 1987. We have to get through the week by wearing suits and performing for screaming toddlers and talk to our old friends. A tier. Dayshift at Freddy's 3. This game is set 36 years after the second game in 2023. This game is just as funny as the last two games. We use a start your own Freddy Fazbear location kit. We, the player, have the opportunity to customize the pizzeria any way we choose, from the design, decor, theme, and the mascots. These three games have a lot of content. For example, the amount of endings there are insane. There's so much hours and hours of lore that keep you hooked into the game. S tier. The Diner. This game looks like it was made in Scratch. That's because I think it was. There's no story to this game. We just hop right into this ugly ass game that looked like it was built with Lego. We have unlimited power, but we are limited on how long we can use the mask for, because the mask has a spring lock mechanic. The office does not look appealing at all. What is this thing in front of me? Is it like a TV with a see-through screen? Maybe a furnace? We may never know. F tier. 6 horrors. The description of the game states, so I guess it came to this. Everything in this world has been destroyed. War never ceases to change. The news says a nuke is hitting the earth in 6 days. We might all die. But before we all die, let's take one last job that can help us with the joy. This is like Return to Freddy's type storytelling. We work at this place called Chuck and Tony's Midway Diner. This gameplay is unique. In order to make the animatronics go away, you must take pills. The animatronics cannot harm you when you're tripping balls, apparently. I found this pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. But after that, it's just kind of like Fnaf 2. C tier. Sinister Turmoil. We are Nathan, and we go into the sewers. Alright, whatever. The only animatronic that is down here is Prototype Foxy hunting us down, and it's Cupcake that basically snitches on us. Fucking bitch. This game is very unsettling, and this is a Fnaf stealth game that isn't horrible. I'm not throwing shade at any other game, I swear. We didn't really find anything, we just get this wrench and use it to twist the screw, which basically floods the whole sewer. That's kind of where the game ends, but it's still being worked on, so B tier. Jolly. We play as Michael Schmidt. We play as Michael Schmidt. He is a night guard, and we must fend off animatronics in Jolly's fantasy world. This game is pretty good. There's a lot of ways to defend ourselves, so we're always kept on our toes. And there are mini games that give us insights on the lore. Plus, the graphics and models are amazing. A tier. Jolly 2. We are working as a night guard on a cargo ship that is to transport the animatronics to a safer place for investigation. This game is pretty simple. We have 2 doors on the left and right. We can look behind ourselves and shock the animatronics when they get too close. The gameplay is pretty straightforward and the mini games are cool. A tier. Jolly 3 Chapter 1. In this game, we are a night guard, and in this game, every night, basically we have to watch the robots through the security system and then do a special task. I like this because there's a variety of content and the gameplay doesn't get repetitive. A tier. Anime location. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not even good Coomer bait.
Yep.
It's just bad. This shit is so fire. I think you should unrelease this and either release a playable game or a playable demo. F tier. I can't believe it. I found a game worse than The Fright of That Night. Will there be a game worse than Anime Location? Stick around and find out. FNAF World Collide. The game is just a less polished version of FNAF World. C tier. Super FNAF. This game is extremely well made with its pixel art style of the game, with its soundtracks that resemble retro games. The game basically tells the story of the FNAF timeline through the animatronics perspective with the game spin on it, which is cool. There are multiple endings in this game, so there's also replay value. Great soundtrack, great graphics, great story. S tier. Ennard's Night. This is just Minecraft sister location, but the gameplay of FNAF 1. C tier. Empty springlocked. This game is a free roam game, and we have to go around interacting with these wind-up box. We just get straight into this game with this animatronic who also roams around looking for blood, I suppose. This game is okay. C tier. Five Nights with 39. I can instantly tell how dated this game is after watching that. This game is FNAF 1, but with only one animatronic after you. We play as Sam, and we are stuck in this huge restaurant with the animatronic 39, who is very vocal about wanting to kill us.
Honestly, why don't you just drop dead, you f***ing dick-nosed bitch Nazi? Yeah, nice. Honestly, you are a pompous prick jockey.
39 is a vindictive being who also insults and threatens us despite us doing nothing wrong. We're just sitting here. He's also Australian, so maybe that's why he's so mad. At the end of the game, he kills us anyway.
Target eliminated. Oh god. Sam? Oh no, we really fucked you up. No, this can't be. Fuck! I don't think I can fix you. Sam Clancy.
Apparently he was possessed by a new 39 and then he snapped, realizing what he just done. Finishes the business. B tier. Five Nights at Pokemon. This is just FNAF 2, but the FNAF 2 characters as Pokemon characters. It's kind of creepy. C tier. FNAF Evolution. This game is just FNAF 2, but with FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 characters. C tier. Fazbear's Return. This game is kind of bad. We just sit in this office with these weird ass textures. The models are ugly and the colors just don't fit and they're very unappealing to look at. D tier. Fazbear's Return 2. Again, it's really hard to see anything, and I swear I've watched videos of guys sitting down doing absolutely nothing and winning the night. The environment is so damn bland and empty, and again these models are so ugly. D tier. Fazbear's Return 3. Were they even trying with this game? F tier. Return to Fazbear's 4. The animatronics are horrifying, but I guess that's kind of the aesthetic of this particular game. This game is getting a little bit bearable, but still D tier. Fazbear's Return 5 Reborn. This game is actually way better, and it's not that bland or empty. The environment actually looks like a restaurant. The gameplay is alright, nothing special. C tier. Five Nights with Mac Tonight's Remastered. It's the 1980s. McDonald's had recently launched their advertising campaign for their products with a new mascot, Mac Tonight. The animatronics were getting shipped, but along the way they malfunction and basically something is wrong with them. And our job is to work the night shift. This game looks nice and each night gets intense, so B tier. Five Nights at Mac Tonight's 2. McDonald's restaurant is currently closed, so we work at a warehouse. Their environment looks cool, but we just do the same thing every night, nothing special. B tier. Five Nights with Mac Tonight 3. We are on the McDonald's boat McBarge. This game never fails when it comes to nice and immersive environments. We defend ourselves against the animatronics by using water from the leaking pipes, and you can basically fry any animatronics at the entrance or the vents. B tier. Five Nights in Their World is a free roam point and click game where we basically go around and hide from the animatronics. I understand the concept, but this game is pretty damn hard, mainly because it's hard to control. Each room represents a keybind we could press, and it's pretty confusing at times. C tier. Project Readjust. We work as a night guard in Buster's Diner World from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. We stay in an office checking the cameras and flashing the lights to make sure no one is there. The game is decent, B tier. Twisted Reality Origins. This game is based on the Fnaf novel with the same name, which is pretty cool. The game is pretty polished, and that's about it. You have to look through security cameras and then shock the animatronics if they get close to your door. B tier. Woppy and Friends. We play as a night guard. This game is super polished, the models are very pretty, and the game runs very smooth, and it's kind of like Fnaf 4. Where we have to walk over to the door and look to see if any animatronics are there. A tier. Baldi's Basics in Nightmare. It's a FNAF fan game with knife-fueled Baldi characters. There are no security cameras, so to check for animatronics, you have to look through this entrance, and every time I look through this entrance, it plays this annoying ass sound. And then we have to traverse the hallways to avoid these animatronics. And these animatronics are scary as hell. B tier. Visiting Fazbears. This game style is probably my favorite. It is a low poly PS1-esque. We play as the crying child and we're stuck in the Fazbear's pizzeria. We could explore the pizzeria, but once he picks up Fredbear's parts, it's over. Chica will constantly be on our ass. For a short game, this is very challenging. We are supposed to get all of Fredbear's parts while doing our best to avoid the animatronics. After we do that, we build Fredbear and the door opens and that's the end. A tier. Bondi's Barnyard. Safety violation. This game is very unique as we play as a child who is hiding inside the animatronic. This game is very pretty and smooth and also straightforward too. You look left and right and flash the lights. If any animatronics is there, shut the door. A tier. A Shadow over Freddy's. This game is actually terrifying. It's a point-and-click exploration game. This game is extremely grimy and dirty. We are constantly swarmed by the shadow, solidifying that we are the only human in this place. Each night, we have a new objective where we have to go so the game doesn't get repetitive while avoiding the animatronics. S tier. Animators Hell. This game was made by a bunch of SFM animators and it's basically FNAF Ultimate Custom Nights with their own characters and voice lines, which is pretty cool. You can make the game easy for you, or you could just take a bunch of crack and make it extra challenging. When you make the game extra challenging, it doesn't get very boring because there are so many things to do. Security camera, wind-up box, deadly game of Pac-Man, flashlights, etc. This game is insane. A tier. Grizzlies. It takes guts to play this game. This game is weirdly political and kind of deep, which is a first for a FNAF fan game. It's not even the gameplay, it's the dialogue that the main protagonist has with other characters. Each night while working, the main character John takes calls from different individuals. The first night, John talks to Tyler about regretting making his girlfriend leave him.
Why'd you call me?
Hey John, what the hell happened to you, man? I heard stories about you
System
losing
loading.
your home, your girlfriend leaving you, losing customers. Come on, man, you gotta get it together.
I'm staying here for the next few weeks as far as I'm concerned. It's okay. I need to take care of this business. It's the only thing I have after she left me.
And Tyler comforts him, telling him it's okay and to focus on his business.
She can screw off for what she did to you. She isn't worth anything.
Then the second night, we're on a call with Earl. Earl reminds us of Election Day and who we're going to vote for.
I honestly don't want to talk about it. It doesn't matter anyways. The president fucking stuffs ballots in every possible machine he can find. Hell, I've even seen some spare ballots inside a Grizzlies building one time.
That's such a lie.
The problem is, the guy's a fraud. Literally. In 2028, the Senate instated him as president when he only won by 141 electoral votes. Even though the Republicans won 260 and the Democrats won 136. He didn't even pass 270.
Bro, this is a FNAF fan game. The third night, an anonymous person calls us claiming they know where our partner is.
Who's this? Hello? Who is this? And what is that? Who are you? How would you know that?
The fourth night, Mom calls us saying she wants us home.
Why are you calling me?
John, where are you?
I ran away from you. Why do you keep calling me?
I need to find you. I don't know where you are.
The fifth night, we're on a call with the damn president.
Hello? Who is this?
This is...
Hello, Mr. President? What are you doing calling me?
You know what's going to happen, right?
Why do you want to take my stuff? I've done nothing wrong.
I know everything about you.
Please, leave me alone. I'm just trying to survive.
Sometimes you can't trust the people around you.
Imagine having to fend off scary animatronics while arguing with the fucking president. Too funny, A tier. Tubbyland. This game is extremely good, having fully animated cutscenes and nice graphics. A unique way to defend ourselves against the animatronics isn't the usual checking the cameras or shutting the doors. We use our computer, and we use this maze-type software to lure away animatronics for our office, and it gets more intense and harder each night. S tier. SCP Endurance. First of all, I love the intro to this game. I think it's funny. So yeah, this game is just Fnaf, but with SCP anomalies. There are a lot of things we have to keep in check to make sure we don't die, and my favorite is playing tic-tac-toe. The music in this game is very calm. Although too beautiful for the situation I'm in right now. But the game is awesome. A tier, juniors. This game is visually insane and the graphics is unreal. We play as an investigator and we are helped by a spirit named Popgoes. Our job is basically to watch the animatronics and see which one is haunted. So it's kind of like Among Us. Y'all should really experience this game. S tier. There is this game I really wanted to talk about, Five Nights at McDonald's. It was the first Fnaf fan game to ever be developed, probably developing before the masterpiece Freddy Fazbear's Massacre. May 15th, 1940, McDonald's was founded to be a fun for kids fast food restaurant. They even had their mascot and his friends, Ronald McDonald's, Grimace, Birdie the Early Bird, and Hamburglar. This was the beta of the gameplay. It's been 9 years, and this game is still not out, and I still cannot play this masterpiece of a game. I mean, their last post was them claiming that they were still developing the game 9 years ago. I'm just left in the dark. I found out about this game today on a video called Top 10 Scariest FNAF Fan Games That Are Not Out. This was interesting because apparently this game was in the making since 2014, and it's not cancelled or anything. It's just taking a long time to be finished with. Damn, this piece of shit must be a magnum opus of a FNAF game when it drops. I mean, hooray! I can't wait! Well, that's the end of the ranking. If I missed any games, let me know. It's hard to search for hundreds and thousands of FNAF games on GameJolt when the game is cancelled or there's straight up no games. If you like this video, follow me on Twitter or X, Instagram, and subscribe.
Close, but